good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. Welcome back from the weekend. Did you have a good one? Was it not so great? Well, we've got a bunch of news here to make you not worry about your problems because you're not these guys. Maybe you are these guys. This is Before Coffee.
Monday! We love it!
Yeah,
Monday.
We love a Monday. This is the first and only international game
Monday
show Before Coffee, a father and daughter podcast where we look up our stories 10 to 15 minutes before we started. We've just got caffeine in our bodies and we're learning to read live on stream. Let's roll that segue wheel and get into the headlines. Today on Mucking Fun Day. 2,000 Scottish jobs at risk as North Sea oil firm set to collapse. And Lithuanian plans to close Belarus border to crossings after balloon sightings.
And good morning and happy Mucking Fun Day. We're going to update the Louvre robbery. They have arrested 2 suspects. Plus we have a Hurricane Melissa update. It's going to be Category 5.
In election news, I know the Dutch elections this Wednesday, but the Argentine midterm elections just occurred over the weekend, and Javier Milei's party wins despite falling in polls.
Yes. And we're going to talk about Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson making demands for them to leave. Making demands so they will leave the royal cottage. Speaking of pedophiles, Trump's foreign policy is a disaster. We're going to talk about who's buying up all the land.
In my culture news, Greece accuses British Museum of provocative indifference over pink ball.
Yes, and it's National American Beer Day. If you like American beer, it's probably a Pilsner. So pump that Pilsner, get drunk, pass out, wake up, try to figure out where you are. It's October 27th, 2025 on Before Coffee. We love it. You know what they say about American beer? Do you know what they say about American beer in Australia?
American beer in Australia.
You know that Australian saying? You know what they say about American beer? They say American beer is like making love in a canoe. It's fucking close to water. Anyway.
Isn't this... Didn't you like an American beer at one time? I don't know.
I like any beer at one time. What difference does it make? I grew up in America. That's all I had was American beer.
Well, I guess this was before IPAs became really popular. I don't know when that happened because I'm not a beer drinker.
Yeah, IPAs
At some
weren't a
point,
thing.
everyone was like, yeah,
okay,
try this.
Beer in America.
50 different IPAs. You need to try this one. It's delicious.
A lot of laws had to be passed for IPAs to even, for local breweries to even be legal. Big breweries were controlling the market for so long. It's only fairly recently that these small breweries have taken off, and the best thing about smaller ones is they don't have to ship through interstate channels. Not have to be limited, right? They're not. The federal government had. So that's why the microbrews. Short history of beer.
The short history of beer.
Right, but when I was a kid, every beer was an American beer. There was no imported beers. Zero. There was.
I mean, I've learned a little short history of beer, but it was about UK beer, and it was about this idea that the breweries kind of owned the recipe of beer, so they're the ones. This is the UK. I don't know anything. This is the UK. This is a different recipe. You weren't alive, so in the UK, so I don't know why you're acting like you know the history of it.
What year was this? Right?
Oh, freaking 1800s, dude. Like, The reason why pubs exist is because they would use pubs to deliver their recipe of the thing. And it wasn't nationalized, it wasn't regulated, nothing, right? So that's why there's so many different beer brands in the UK, because they're all like, I have this special beer that is only grown here in this pub. And
that kind of goes everywhere.
I'm paraphrasing it. I'm not making a video essay, right? This is what I remember from the video I watched. That's all.
Okay, well, I forgot what I was going to say about it. But anyway, let's do the wheel.
I didn't know you had anything else to say. We're just talking about beer.
Not really. I'm just going to waste more time. That's about it.
It's not a waste of time if we're talking. Sarcasm. This is a podcast after all.
Ooh, sarcasm! Again.
Our first story is going to be a little update from the Lithuania story I had on, I think it was Wednesday. I'm pretty sure I talked about it on Wednesday because it's about balloons shutting down an airport, which sounds like a wacky story. Well, guess what? There's more balloon sightings coming from Belarus, and Lithuania is deciding, you know what? It's time to maybe close the border. They're getting very paranoid that they think this is some sort of, not saying it isn't or is, right? But from their national security point of view, Belarus is trying to do some sort of something. Disrupting their communications mostly, I think. Their flights and stuff. Shutting down airports all the time because it's very dangerous to have balloons go into a fuselage. And they see it as some sort of warfare against Lithuania. This is from Vilnius, Lithuania, on AP News. Lithuania's Prime Minister said today, on the 27th of October, that our country has drawn up plans to shut its borders crossings with Belarus indefinitely after flights at the capital's airport were disrupted repeatedly by suspected sightings of balloons used to smuggle cigarettes across the frontier. Lithuania's National Security Commission met after balloon sightings prompted the suspension of air traffic at Vilnius Airport on 3 successive evenings, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So all this weekend they've been dealing with, sorry guys, airport's delayed again because they keep on putting these damn cigarette balloons. And they can't, if it was something no more nefarious, right? You could maybe say, hey, they're starting a war with us. But if it's just like cigarettes and balloons, it's just smugglers. But they're arguing that Belarus is paying the smugglers to be disruptive, right? I think they're arguing that this is a government-mandated disruption, which is why they're blaming Belarus, the country, and not the smugglers, who are probably just individuals smuggling cigarettes. It's caused cancellations, diversions, and delays. On Friday, the 24th of October, the airport at Kaunas, which is farther from the Belarusian border, was also affected. So 2 airports. The incident followed similar disruptions earlier on Wednesday when we originally covered the story, and on other recent occasions. It happened earlier, I think in September. There was also balloons crossing the border. Lithuania's 2 border crossings with Belarus, Medininkai and Salsinikai, were both closed for several hours as a result of each of the balloon incidents. The country's border guard service decided overnight yesterday, the 26th of October, to close the border for 24 hours, the BNS news agency reported. Prime Minister Inga Ruganine said that the restrictions will be extended until Wednesday, so basically a week since one of the first incidents started happening, when our cabinet is expected to decide whether to prolong the closure indefinitely, BNS reported. Ruganine said today on the 27th that the government has already drawn up a draft decision to shut the border indefinitely, with exemptions for diplomats and diplomatic mail. Lithuanian and other European Union citizens also would still be allowed to enter from Belarus. Lithuania, the EU and NATO as an EU and NATO member, is located on the Western Alliance's eastern flank. It borders Russia's Kaliningrad exclave as well as Russia's allied Belarus. Belarus Foreign Minister Maxim Reznikov denounced the move to shut the border down as a provocation. No, the provocation is you not stopping people from sending balloons over the border and shutting down airports. That's the provocation. Why are you doing something about this if you don't want the borders to be shut down? And suggested that Lithuanian authorities should focus their attention on organized gangs of Lithuanians who are smuggling for profit. The balloons are coming from your country, dude. Why is Lithuania responsible? These balloons with smuggled cigarettes have been flying there for ages, Ryzhenikov said in a statement, but most interestingly, we haven't received any diplomatic notes. Ryzhenikov said he discussed the issue with Dictator Alexander Lukashenko, who described the border closure as a sheer stupidity. How are we supposed to invade you easily now? Belarusian opposition leader Svetlana Tsikhanouskaya, who lives in exile in Lithuania, said in her written comments to the Associated Press that the balloon incidents were yet another sign that the regime is using cigarette smuggling as a tool of hybrid aggression against Europe. The closure of the border crossing is a logical step to protect security, she said. We support Lithuania and its partners in strengthening sanctions against producers, transporters, and organizers of cigarette smuggling. And reminder, okay, just because they're in the EU and NATO does not mean they can't get invaded. Okay? Somebody can go invade them right now, today, and then the EU and Poland and everyone, right, they'll have to strategize, oh, we have to put things in the air, go, go, go. But that's not going to stop the actual invasion, right? The invasion will still happen. So they're just like, we don't even want an invasion to be possible. Okay, if you guys want to invade us by shutting down our airports, making us, ground all our vehicles or whatever, we're not going to let you. Fuck off. And get your shit in order, because they're sending the balloons from your country. But that's the story. A little shorty.
Okay, so I guess Belarus is a democracy now, right? Because they're definitely free in Russia. Is that true?
Yeah. They're a new sea of power for
I'm
democracy.
being sarcastic.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure that guy in charge will put himself up for a free and fair election any day now.
I'm sure it'll happen. My next story is a new one. Not an update, and it's about oil rig being closed down, or even an entire company being closed down in Scotland, which, if anybody knows anything, there are some Scottish and also English North Sea oil rigs up, and that's where they make a lot of money and taxes and stuff. And it looks like 2,000 jobs are going to be lost to Scotland after the closing of this oil job. This is from Alasdair Ferguson on the National Scotland. More than 2,000 jobs in Scotland are at risk of being lost after a North Sea platform company filed for administration, as in bankruptcy. On today, the 27th of October, Petrofac, based in London, confirmed it had applied to the High Court of England and Wales to appoint administrators. It comes after the firm, which designs, builds, and manages and maintains infrastructure for the oil industry, guess what? Other than the sale of that oil rig itself, managing and maintaining will cost you money, so you will be losing money. I don't know why
so much oil they get, right?
These companies are like, wait a minute, we can't make money off of maintenance? No, you can't. It's necessary, but you can't. It's not something you make money off of. People get paid. You probably make zero profit, you probably try your best to stay out of the red, and that's all you do as a maintenance company. You're not sitting there going, oh, why didn't we make $1 billion profits? You're not going to be making that.
Nah. Actually, maintenance companies make huge contracts, so one little job will just be part of a huge contract, so they do make money.
Yeah, I'm just saying I'm sure the people whoever makes these decisions are going, why aren't our profits 10,000 or whatever? And it's like, dude, they're not going to be that high. You're a maintenance company. You're making money from selling the designs, I think. The licensing the designs, building the designs. But this idea that
maintenance isn't construction are two different things.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They design, build, manage, and maintain. So they're doing all those things. The entire...
Right. But they can subcontract out the maintenance to a maintenance company. It doesn't matter if you have a contract, you can subcontract. You don't have to do the work. Sure. Go ahead.
I don't know what's happening because I haven't read the whole thing, and maybe they won't even tell me. I'm just creating a hypothetical reason. I'm thinking in my own head, brainstorming my ideas of why this company has decided to go into bankruptcy. It had its contract to work on the 2GW program in the Netherlands terminated as well. So, Petrofac's UK business is based in Aberdeen, is involved in the operation of North Sea oil platforms for firms including BP and Shell. Sounds like they're the subcontractor at this point. It has been reported around 2,000 jobs in Scotland could be at risk following the company filing for administration. So there's 2,000 maybe subcontractors, main contractors from the actual company, who knows. But all of that umbrella of them, Petrofac, whoever they're paying, their jobs are at risk because they're no longer going to be paying anybody or making money or being a company. Petrofac reportedly said it would continue to trade while explores alternative restructuring and M&A, mergers and acquisition solutions. Maybe somebody will buy us and then you guys won't lose your jobs. A company spokesperson said, Petrofac has a number of fundamentally strong businesses and we are focused on delivering the best possible outcome for them in this process. Wow, corporate mumbo jumbo. A long-established North Sea business continues to operate as normal, and management are working to minimize disruption for clients and employees. Stephen Flynn has said that the workers at the firm, along with their families, deserve better. He said, impossible to overstate the impact this news will have on the workers and their families here in Aberdeen. Uncertainty and job losses have plagued us since the Labour government came to power. Workers, their families, and our communities deserve better. Meanwhile, Aberdeen Central MSP Kevin Stewart said, this is incredibly concerning news for employees of Petrofac and their families. We are seeing a succession of companies either cutting operations in the north and east or leaving altogether. It is incumbent on policymakers in London to reflect on that. Scotland's abundance of energy resources has long been the backbone of our economy. The SNP is determined to see that continue. Okay, well, you better start creating those offshore wind farms and other things, because I'm hoping the longer we go into zero net carbon energy, the more these oil companies will just go out of business. That's what I really hope for. Do I wish employees would lose their jobs, like 2,000 Scottish people losing their jobs and their families?
Oil companies.
I don't want that, but I want oil companies to stop being the backbone of people's economy. That's not good.
Exactly.
That's not good for the
reason
future.
we fight wars.
Yeah.
Are dwindling resources.
I'm sure Scotland's not going to invade
Never gonna
anybody for the
run
oil.
Well, the United States does, definitely.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Wait a minute. Are we talking about Scotland's part? Wait a minute. Whoa. You just said something completely wrong. Scotland is part of the UK. The UK and the United States did invade Iraq for their oil. So there you go.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying specific. This is specific Scotland that's being affected, right? Not England. England doesn't care.
Scotland's not a country, man. They're just part of another country.
Okay, they don't have a country, but they have their own parliament, which is who we're talking about. We're talking about Scotland's parliament making decisions. So.
Right.
Which doesn't rely on Westminster. Yeah.
Anyway, my sarcasm is.
I'm not even done with the story, dude.
Oh, okay. Wow, you're still not done. Okay.
Scotland's abundant energy sources could have long been the backbone of the economy. However, Labour's energy profits levy and empty promises in relation to Great Britain energy are putting jobs at risk and keeping bills at record levels. So they're saying they're blaming Westminster, which is a normal thing for Wales and Ireland and Wales, Ireland, and Scotland to do. Hey, this is Westminster's fault. I urge the Labour government at Westminster to urgently rethink its approach. Huh?
It's pronounced Westminster. It's not minister. Westminster, there's no extra I. You're putting an extra I in there. It's not minister. It's Minster. Westminster. Anyway.
I urge the Labour government to urgently rethink its approach and stand ready to labour all those affected by the news. Following the announcements, a spokesperson for the Department for Energy and Security and Net Zero said, the UK arm of Petrofac has not entered administration and is continuing to operate as normal, as in-demand business with a highly skilled workforce and these successful contracts. Petrofac's administration is a project of long-standing issues in their global business. The government will continue to work with the UK company as it focuses on the long-term future. Ministers are working together as parts of government led by DESNs in support of this. The company was worth around $6 billion at its peak in 2012, but has slumped to recent years. It was worth around $20 billion when its shares were suspended in May after being severely impacted by an investigation by the Serious Fraud Office into volatile energy prices. So, their company is shitly run, is what it sounds like, right? The company has not been run very well since 2012. They've gone from $6 billion to $20 million when they basically were taken off market so nobody would lose tons of money. Like, these guys are crashing so hard. And, yeah, makes sense why they had to go into administration, I guess. But there's my story. And
hard to tell what all their bad decisions, but the point you were making earlier is my start. Like the oil company meme is always been, them wind turbines require a lot of maintenance, and I'm like, oil pumps and oil derricks don't require maintenance. Who knew? They never require maintenance.
We just this whole time I think people think oil is like those cartoons or like what was it? Beverly Hills Hillbillies, right? Oh, it just pops out the ground, then you collect it in barrels, and then that's it. Yeah, that's how it works. Like a fountain of oil. That's how you get the oil out. Yeah, just like that.
Oh, and the other one is you're still gonna need oil. Yeah, the other sarcasm is you're still gonna need oil to run those wind turbines. They need lubrication. I said, what's your freaking point? Lubrication does not send carbon into the atmosphere. Burning it sends it into the atmosphere, not lubrication. And
I'm not a mechanical engineer or anything, but I'm pretty sure there's other oils in the world that aren't that oil.
Oh no,
that can be used.
I'm just saying it's oil.
I have no idea. I'm not like I said. I'm not a mechanical engineer.
Obviously, you can make polymers from any carbon, right? Any carbon of any form, right? Carbon is what's known as the whore of the what is it? The whore of the element table, because it just attaches to everything. That's why it just attaches to everything, right?
Yeah.
But well, it's not necessarily a whore because it doesn't charge any money. Okay, so there you go.
Imagine that. Hey, I need one atom if you want me to combine with this hydrogen.
Like, yeah, you can make plastic. You can make plastic out of any carbon. You can make plastic out of a cotton T-shirt if you wanted to. That's carbon.
Yeah, probably. But the thing is, why people are so reliant on, well, we already have this method. Why would we invent new ones? If it works, why change it? And it's like, well, it's killing the planet. That's why. Anyways, let's roll our wheel before we talk way too long again.
The extraction of oil puts way more carbon into the atmosphere than building windmills too. So there's always that.
Okay, I'm going to associate your story with something else. Let's go.
Associate, we're going to talk about the breaking news stories of the day, where we have, well, the first one anyway. They've caught some of the Louvre suspects. Yeah, this is Euronews.com.
Oh, darn.
Alexander Kazakevich and Are you on some kind of drug today or something?
I drink coffee, that's what I'm on.
There you go. Euronews.com, Louvre robbery, 2 suspects arrested. These are the names of the reporters. Alexander Kazakevich and Rory Elliott Armstrong. Okay, let's get down to the story. It took French police almost a week to make their first arrest in connection with the investigation into the theft of jewels of the French sovereigns from the Apollo Gallery. Authorities have arrested 2 people in connection with the robbery of the precious Louvre crown jewels in Paris, one of whom was preparing to board a flight, say French media outlets. 2 men are believed to be from the Parisian suburb of Saint-Saint-Denis and are known for previous robberies. Wow, known for previous robberies. Yet
the usual suspects is what we're doing here, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, they Kevin Pollak and Kevin Spacey. No, the 2 Kevins.
This guy's robbed someone before, and he's trying to leave the country. It must have been him. The end. Case solved.
Benicio del Toro is still on the loose. Along with, which one of the Baldwin brothers? It wasn't Alec Baldwin. Billy Baldwin? One of the Baldwin brothers in that movie.
Yeah.
He was actually pretty good. He was really good in that movie. Paris prosecutor Laure Bacall said investigators from the anti-gang brigade made the arrest. She ruled the premature leak information. She ruled it, saying it could hinder the work. Yeah, you probably shouldn't even have leaked that you made arrest. Now these other guys are going to go into deep hiding. She ruled the premature leak of the information, say it could hinder work. Over 100 investigators mobilized to recover the stolen jewels and apprehend all the perpetrators. Of course, we repeated this thing last week several times. Those jewels are not getting recovered. They've already been melted down. Last week, several thieves broke into the world-famous light. Melted down or cut up, let's put it that way. They used a basket lift device to access the balcony leading to the Apollo Gallery, forced open a window and broke display cases to steal the jewels, valued at 88 million euros. Around 8 pieces of historic jewelry were removed. 88 million euros. Use that. Around 8 pieces of historic jewelry were removed, all associated with the French 19th century royalty. Once again, why was there French 19th century royalty after the French Revolution? Somebody? Anybody? Didn't they get
because
rid of
people
that
don't
shit?
learn. Famously, yeah, they took one out, and then 2 years later, another one came. That's what Les Miserables is about.
I'm being sarcastic, of course. It's like, you had a revolution. You solved this problem. Hey, let's go back to royalty. Huh? Sorry. Hello. They have such a weird identity in your head about what protest things like. They're making us work 32 hours a week. The high spark. Let's get back to this. Public outrage has been criticized as a national humiliation by French lawmakers. National humiliation. People shit all the time. Shit, billionaires steal stuff all the time. You don't call that a humiliation. I think this is a strike for the poor guy. That's what I think. Screw you guys and your freaking security. You couldn't even protect the crown jewels of your own country. What are you rich people up to? Are you molesting children too much to worry about that stuff? Is that what it is? I'm only talking about the rich people, not everybody. Just the rich people. They're the ones with the problems. Don't forget, rich people cause all the problems and blame it on the poor people. And better, they convince half of the poor people to blame the other half.
It's like, wait, why are you guys doing the same as us? What?
Right. Don't forget, laws are there for honest people and poor people. Rich people don't have to obey the law. A preliminary investigation has revealed that a third of the rooms in the area of the museum raided had no security cameras, according to the French media. Oh man, they could have got away with a lot more. Consider yourself lucky they were only there for 7 minutes. There's your story.
Well, that's it. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess I've already kind of done my associate there, which is, the usual suspects for... What was that other movie? Casablanca, I believe. Casablanca. They do this joke where they're like, select all the usual suspects. And it's just like, yeah. Honestly, if I was stealing some jewels in a 7-minute heist, I would definitely act like everything's normal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wasn't involved in that. Know nothing about it. Don't change your... I think as soon as they see that you've changed your schedule, you're trying to leave the country, oh, why is he suddenly doing that? You're going to be put on the radar, And you're just acting like you don't even know about it.
Yeah, and strangely, nobody has located the whereabouts of Kaiser Soze in this incident, but maybe soon.
Well, that's his speciality. He always gets away.
Don't give away who's actually Kaiser Soze for people that haven't watched that movie. We're going to do one more update for the news about the weather. We got our Category 5 hurricane going to slam into Jamaica. And if you live
still
there,
hurricane season in North America.
This is not... Later every year. It's almost November. We're still got a hot Atlantic Ocean. Isn't that comforting? Not really. So what is BCNews.com is our nasty weather wasn't as nasty as it could have been this year, but hey, Mother Nature still got a couple of tricks in our bag. Hurricane Melissa intensifies Category 5 for Jamaica with catastrophic flooding. Yeah, rain in a hurricane is no joke. Neither is the storm surge. The wind, there's only half of it, man. Patrick Smith, Rebecca Cohen, and Catherine Pocklive. Hurricane Melissa, this is, did I already say NBC News? NBC had a nice, pithy story, not telling me the history of hurricanes and, the biographies of the weathermen and stuff. Hurricane Melissa intensified to a powerful category early Monday as forecasters warned the storm could cause catastrophic. Typically what hurricanes do. a lot of rain because they stay in one spot. Oh, they're slow-moving systems, and they got a lot of rain. And you know what that song Love Hurts said? Hurricanes are, love is like a flood. Sorry, it holds a lot of rain. The metaphor doesn't work for me. The National Hurricane Center in Miami warned people in Jamaica to go to shelters and stay there during the summer. Dangerous conditions beginning Monday and lasting through Tuesday. Melissa, not sweet Melissa from the Allman Brothers song, but really, really terrifying Melissa, is set to make landfall Jamaica on early Tuesday. That will be tomorrow or late tonight before moving across southeastern Cuba, another poor country. Tuesday night as current Category 3 storms, Category 3 storm, and across southwestern Bahamas. Wednesday as a Category 2. Government officials in Jamaica are set to address the public at 11:30 on Monday as a tropical storm conditions are already plaguing the island. You do live in the tropics. 8 a.m. Eastern Time, the storm was located 135 miles southeast of Kingston, the capital of Jamaica, at a maximum sustained winds of 160 miles per hour. That'll keep your kite up there, huh? And was moving west at 3 miles per hour, which I said is very slow, putting it at the highest and most dangerous category on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane. And forecast to intensify even further. Okay, maybe a Category 6. Is there Category 6? Maybe not. The most powerful storm to hit the region since Hurricane Gilbert in 1988. Melissa will bring between 15 and 30 inches, up to 40 inches of rain to Jamaica, as well as extreme wind, intense extensive damage, and life-threatening storm surge along with the southern coast. The Hurricane Center said, "This is a nasty storm, Jamaica. Get ready." It's the third Category 5 of the 2025 season. Had 3 of them, but most of them have just weakened out at sea. The last time there were more than 2 storms of this strength in the same season was 20 years ago, in 2005. Melissa is also the latest Category 5 storm in Atlantic hurricane season in 27 years since Hurricane Mitch in 98. That one slammed into Central America, I believe.
Good old Mitch.
Areas of eastern Jamaica. Yeah, Mitch. I think Guatemala. I think it's one of your more dangerous ones because there's a lot of poorer people in Guatemala, as there is in a lot of the Caribbean. There's a lot of poor people. But again, you don't need a lot to live in these countries. You live in a shack because the weather's perfect, right? You don't ever have to, oh my God, put insulation. It got down to 60. You know, I've been to, this is a sidebar again, St. Croix. It was just in the Virgin Islands. I was talking to a guy that's been there for 30 years, and he said the coldest it's ever been, the whole time he's been there, in like 30 years, 62 degrees is the coldest it's ever been. Yeah, you don't have frost warnings. Wind speeds in the mountainous areas could be 30% higher than the main storm, meaning potential winds of more than 200 miles per hour. So being in the mountains might keep you away from the floods, but hell, shit, 200 mile an hour winds. Desmond McKenzie, Jamaica's Minister of Local Government and Community Development, said Sunday that 218 people are already in some of the country's 881 shelters. That's not enough people, man. As of Monday morning, all the island shelters were open, but many were still not full. McKenzie said that many Jamaican communities will not survive this flooding. Yeah, dude, your village is in the line of this. You get the hell out of there. Grab what you need and get out. Jamaica residents were filling up gas canisters for their generators. You hope your house is there for the generator. Boarding up windows to prepare for the intense and wild and rain. Zookeepers in the capital city were relocating their animals ahead of the storm. The American tourists who caught one of the last flights from the island said there was a lot of turbulence getting back to the United States. It was almost getting out and watching the rain come behind us, he said, but luckily we made it. Others weren't so lucky. Nicole Doyen of Miami was visiting the island for yoga retreat. Couldn't get out before the storm, despite exhausting all of her options.
Be blown away.
Nothing available.
It's time to do a crane pose.
Well,
and
all
get
that
the hell out of
stretching
there.
will help you. Well, that stretching will help you swimming. There you go. There's your bright spot. You'll be able to swim better than most of those folks. Yeah. Yeah, you're not out of shape anyway. Haiti and Dominican Republic will also face catastrophic and life-threatening, speaking of poor countries, threatening flash flooding by midweek, the Hurricane Center said, while Cuba is facing heavy rain, floods in landslides. There's also a hurricane watch for central and southeastern Bahamas, Turks, and the Caicos Islands. So far, the storm has killed at least 4 people, 3 in Haiti, 1 in the Dominican Republic, and here's already a picture of a massive flash flood in Haiti. Ooh. And car in it. No, I think to drive for that. I am intelligent. Stop trying to drive through flash floods, morons. Although interaction with Jamaica will lead to some weakening, Melissa is expected to reach southern Cuba as a major hurricane and will also move across Bahamas and Bermuda. Their Hurricane Center analysis and their latest forecast. There's your story. Sorry I paused so much, but hey, it's kind of important.
Oh, it is.
Get the hell out of your home, Jamaica. Get to high ground. Get yourself a boat. Make yourself a boat if you got a chance.
Get a friend, get a boat, and get out of there. I find it so interesting how here in Europe, the world really just slows down the closer and closer we get to December. I would say the world doesn't really speed back up until maybe March, but in the I guess North America, right? It's still pretty exciting. Long time, maybe at the mid-November, end of November. And then there's my association.
Oh, the fun never stops.
How we're living such a different life just due to one ocean current.
Yeah, you guys get that. What is it called? The jet stream, right? Or Gulf Stream. The Gulf Stream underwater.
We have a lot of crazy winds right now because we're kind of getting. I mean, for anybody who doesn't know what a hurricane looks like, it's a huge spiraling windstorm in the ocean. And Europe does get hit by the very small stream at the end of that spiral. So it's very windy.
I think you could probably control the storm surge from a hurricane if you got a direct hit because of that Delta Works thing you got, right? But I think the wind will just take down so much shit. The wind will just take
like I said, we're reaching the tailwinds of the thing, right? It's not even anywhere. Well, like the
climate change.
There hasn't yet, and hopefully there probably will be, but there hasn't yet been a hurricane that actually its winds get big enough to hit mainland Europe and cause, floods and.
I predict in 10 years I'll have hurricane watches in Great Britain, and it's just going to keep moving. It's just
France. I'm just saying, probably more likely France. Yeah. Because France is right there, right by the Atlantic Ocean. So.
Right. Well, yeah. France and Britain have the same ocean kind of area, right? The rest of French coast is the Mediterranean. That's not going to big enough to.
The Mediterranean can be angry too. Imagine that. Hurricanes in the Mediterranean. That would be scary.
You can't. Yeah, it's not big enough. It's just not big enough.
If there's
Hurricanes are massive.
Enough erosion, maybe in a 1,000 years from now, the Mediterranean Sea used to be closed off. It used to be a lake, or I should say, it used to be an actual sea instead of now, which is connected to the ocean.
Yeah, you might even have sinkholes. Who knows in 10 years, right? Yeah, we're doomed.
Well,
anyway,
I guess we'll find out.
On with our doom. Spin the wheel again.
All right, let's spin the wheel for my next stories.
It's just getting to be Tuesday pretty soon.
What are you saying? Did I wake you up earlier than usual?
I don't. No, not earlier. An hour later. What are you talking about?
Right. It's the same time for me. That's what's crazy. Love that clock change.
No,
I'm going to say, tell me a joke.
According to the clock, it's the same time, but it's really this. It's an hour later in actual reality. Okay, so So
my next story is going to be about the Argentinian midterm elections, which I didn't know happened, but it did happen. So we should talk about it because it's important. Talk about other countries' elections that can affect you. This is from Nicholas Miskulin on the Independent.
What did I spend? I missed the spin. Are you there?
Tell the joke.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Argentine President Javier Milei's party has achieved a decisive victory in the country's midterm legislative elections, securing a mandate to continue his radical economic overhaul despite public discontent over severe austerity measures. I love austerity! For anyone who doesn't know what that word means, it means rich people get all the money! Woo! Let's give the rich people all the money who needs public health care or paying for our buses. Who needs roads when the rich people can have another yacht? There's my austerity song for you. You're welcome. That was a bonus for everyone. This outcome offers a significant boost to Mr. Milei, whose approval ratings has recently dipped. The stronger than expected showing is to believe by analysis to reflect a public fear of renewed economic turmoil should the nation abandon Milei's stringent policies. Well, we might as well stick with what he's doing. Who knows what the other guy will do? While these measures have drastically cut subsidies many Argentines relied upon, like, hey, I can buy lunch for my children, or, I don't know what subsidies. I can pay for my water bill and my electric bill. They have also succeeded in significantly slowing the inflation. The results are also likely to please convicted felon Trump, whose administration had previously faced criticism following a substantial financial bailout provided to Argentina. Addressing a crowd of supporters in Buenos Aires, a triumphant Mr. Milei stated, "Argentines showed that they don't want to return to the model of failure." And he's wearing a fucking leather jacket. If there's anything you need to know about the guy, he's wearing a goddamn leather jacket.
You mean the guy that was wielding a chainsaw a couple years ago? That guy?
Yeah, I'm just saying,
he's insane.
There's a reason we
He's
expect our politicians to look and act a certain way because it represents something. So when they look and act a certain way, that represents something. Okay, that's all I'm saying. He celebrated in front of outside the ruling party's La Libertad Avanza headquarters after the results of the national midterm legislative election. Gustavo Cordoba, the director of the Argentine Zubin Cordoba polling firm, said he was surprised by Milei's showing and thought it reflected concerns about potentially repeating the economic crises of past governments. "Many people are willing to give government another chance," he said. "We'll see how much time Argentine society gives the Argentine government. But the triumph is unobjectable and unquestionable, they're saying there's been zero tampering," is what they're trying to say here. I don't know if there would have been tampering.
Bribery works.
Yeah,
bribery works. So
we love bribery on our politicians. Right. Cordoba said Milei's government appeared to have secured the 1/3 of the seats it needs in the Chamber of Deputies to prevent any future presidential vetoes from being overturned by Congress. In the last few months, the opposition had overturned several of Milei's vetoes of spending bills he had said threatened the country's fiscal balance. The result is better than ever even the most optimistic Milei supporters were hoping for, said Marcelo Garcia, America's director of risk consultancy for Wise and Engaged. With the results, Milei would be able to easily defend his decrees and vetoes in Congress, Garcia said, adding that allies will have more of an incentive to support a winning president. Indeed, in his celebratory speech, Milei suggests a deeper willingness to form partnerships and saying there are dozens of deputies and senators from other parties we can reach basic agreements. Foreign investors have been impressed by the government's ability to significantly reduce the monthly inflation from 12.8% before Milei's inauguration to 2.1% last month. That is pretty impressive. You gotta give him props for that. 12 to 2. While achieving a fiscal surplus and enacting sweeping deregulation measures. Can't give him applause for that. Deregulation is never the answer. I don't care what is going on with your economy. Hey, let the companies do whatever the fuck they want. It'll work. Short term it will work, I'm sure. And then suddenly you'll be like, oh god. To support Milei, the Trump administration offered a bailout potentially worth $40 billion. This is the bribe that Roger's talking about, including a $20 billion currency swap that's already signed and proposed $20 billion debt investment facility. The White House did not immediately respond to a request for a comment on the election result. Wait, the White House still exists? We're still calling it that? The president's party, La Libertad Avanza, scored a 41.5% on the vote in Buenos Aires province compared with the 40.8% for the Peronist coalition. According to the official results, the province has long been a political stronghold for the Peronists, marking a dramatic political shift and a major comeback for Milei with Buenos Aires congressional election in September. Reminder, this is just a midterm election, right? So they, for anyone who doesn't know what a midterm is, it's just, halfway through, they're like, yeah, we need to change up the seats in the government. We need to change who's in the representatives. We'll see if anyone's getting kicked out or adding new seats, and that's what's happened. He didn't get elected. His party got more seats. Okay? So he's already been elected, and he's probably still going to be elected for 2 years or whatever their election.
No, I wouldn't count on it. It depends on what the economy looks like in 2 years and if Trump's still around.
Exactly. So, but according to these first 2 years or so, the Argentine, I don't know how long he's been in power. I should probably look that up. But he's been in power for a while now. Let me look it up real quick. And it's been, at least economically, looking like it's been going good. Right? There's not been...
look at the inflation rate.
Inflation has gone down from 12 to 2. Like, you can't say that's not good.
We're talking about Argentina. Their inflation is looking like 300%. I don't know whose inflation rate you're looking at.
He became president in 2023, so he's only been in for 2 years, like I thought. So he's new to being president. He's not a dictator yet. You don't cross your fingers.
Okay, getting things wrong right here. I don't know why you think their inflation rate is
from whoever's voting, right? They've obviously trying to give him a chance to see what will happen. But like you said, in 2 years from now, when it's his actual re-election, it might be a different story. So, right, let's read up. Nationwide, La Libertad Avanza got 64 seats in the House of Deputies, up from 37, so they almost doubled their number, according to government figures. Half of Argentina's lower chamber of deputies, or 120 seats, as well as a third of the Senate, or 24 seats, were up for election in this midterm vote. So they got around half of the available seats that were up for vote. They did not say how many in the Senate they received. The Peronist opposition movement held the largest minority in both houses, overshadowing Milei's relatively new party. Political experts had said that capturing more than 35% of the vote would be a positive outcome for the government, and they got more than that, 40. Maria Lara Tangina, a political scientist at the Universidad Nacional de San Martin, said that while Milei's approval rating has suffered from fatigue over austerity measures and corruption scandals, it was possibly disillusioned Argentines decided to stay home. Of course, people didn't vote enough. Let's blame those guys. Voter turnout, instead of looking at why people are voting for this guy, if he's not good for the country, I guess. Voter turnout was around 68%, the lowest in more than a decade, media outlets reported. 68% is low! Man. There's a lot of countries that would beg for a 68% turnout vote. Milei has said he expects a cabinet shakeup after the election that could include members of the centrist Pro Party, a frequent ally of the government in Congress, led by former President Mauricio Marci. Bonds and stocks are expected to rally today on the 27th of October when markets open. As a result, gives Milei the votes and political capital needed to accelerate his reforms. Many analysts also predicted there would be a devaluation of the peso, which they say has been overvalued to inflation. So there you go. There's your warning signs that the inflation is not as deflation. The work towards deflation is maybe not as permanent as he hopes. Milei hopes. But there you go. There's your results of the Argentine election, and what that may mean for the future of Argentina. Could be good or bad. We're kind of in the middle of it right now. I'm not a political analyst of Argentine politics, so I'm not going to make any guesses.
Oh, one thing you said something like the inflation rate was 2% or something, which is completely wrong.
Okay, well, I didn't say it. That's what the Independent reported. They got it from 12 to 2%.
Well, there's some article in there said in Argentina.
Yeah, it said it was 12% before his inauguration, and then now it was 2% as of last month. That's what they told me.
Okay, actual facts are, in 2023, the inflation rate in Argentina was 133%. Last year, the inflation jumped to 219%. It is now down to 35 or 31%. So I don't know where those statistics are coming from.
This is what you're not understanding. This isn't total inflation. This is monthly inflation rate. So when he got inaugurated, every month it was 12% added to the inflation rate, I think is what they're saying. And now
it's not a
the inflation rate every month is 2%. So instead of adding 12% every month, They're adding only 2%. It's the inflation rate is still going up. It's
that's
just
what's called economic. What do you want to call it?
I don't know.
What's the word? Malpractice. Malpractice. That's malpractice. The actual year-to-year inflation rate is 35%, and they act
but
like
this isn't year-to-year. This is monthly inflation rate. So
again, month to month is ridiculous. 2%. You know what 2% a month comes out to, right?
Yeah, 12 a year.
24%. 24.
Oh, wait,
24.
sorry, I can't do math.
2%. And, yeah. 20. Okay, so this ain't no great inflation rate they're talking about. Okay, so my joke is part of this money they're giving basically is called loan guarantees. What's a loan guarantee? It allows banks in the United States to loan Argentina money, and if Argentina defaults on the loan, which they will default on the loan, right? They are going to default. I'm telling you right now. They are going to default on the loan immediately. They're not going to make one payment. What happens? The United States government gives those banks their money plus interest, and we all pay for it.
Yeah, tax money.
What does Argentina get in return? Austerity, like you said. And who benefits from austerity? Like you said, the billionaires, right? And what are billionaires good for? Right? Here's your joke. How many billionaires does it take to pave 1 mile of highway? How many? How many billionaires?
20.
20 is very close, but it's actually only 10. It's only 10, but you got to slice them really thin.
Like prosciutto or something, yeah. Some nice Italian thin slices.
Yeah. One of those cold cut slicers you got in the deli.
I love making jokes about dead billionaires. I love it. Of course, evil laugh. Evil laugh. Billionaires, go away. Okay, that's my story about the Argentine election. Let's roll the wheel for the next segue. It is.
Oh, it's my plane, huh? All right.
Yeah, it's your time.
My little joke one.
You gotta remind me.
Yeah, I was just having
song.
trouble with that. I was having trouble with that 2%. I'm like, 2% inflation? Holy Christ, how'd they get lower inflation than in the United States all of a sudden? Oh, it's month to month. Oh, okay, that's different. Oh, okay.
Well, I think still it's impressive, but it's only been 2 years, so they reduced
it's gone.
it in 2 years.
I'm telling you, though, it has gone from 200 to 33, which is impressive as hell. Yeah. But this is before this money, and this money is actually just going to pump money into their economy, which kind of devalues their currency a little bit more. I don't know.
Well, that's what they're saying, right? At the end of the article,
they
said that the currency is currently devalued, so...
My guess, well, that's what inflation is. Your currency isn't worth anything. That's what inflation is. But the rich people just take their cut off the top, which they will. This is the problem with these banana republics, and they still kind of are a banana republic. They elected a complete... Oh, who am I to talk? Look at our country. Anyway, they're going to skim off the top, right? They're not paying any of this money back to the banks. The banks are going to get their money guaranteed by the government plus interest, right? And the billionaires are going to walk away with it. Trump's going to get a kickback, and everybody's just going to be happy, and Argentina's going to get screwed. That's my prediction. All right, so on to the next story. We're going to talk about Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson. Oh, we only click story. Are we there? We just spun, right? Right on. Okay.
Yes.
Prince Andrew still living in the royal cottage. This guy will not go away, even though everybody's like, can you just find some place to go and live, like Russia or something? This is from the geonews.com. Eileen Bakhtiari. Yeah, that's a pretty common name. Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson have demands ahead of leaving the Royal Lodge. The former Duke and Duchess of York are forced out of their abode amid associations to Jeffrey Epstein and have asked for 2 compensatory homes individually. Wouldn't you like that when you get thrown out of your house, you get 2 houses in return? I do that all day long. End of the week, I'll have 14 houses. The The former Duke and Duchess of York are forced out of their abode, blah, blah, blah. A friend tells the son Andy is waiting to leave, but these are his demands. He's realistic and he knows... I might need to do this in a British voice, huh? A friend tells the son Andy is willing to leave, but these are his demands. He is realistic and knows that writing on the wall and his time at the Royal Lodge is up. He must go then. He asked for Frogmore Cottage. What's Frogmore? I live in a Frogmore. Is that like a frog march? That's what he should be doing. You know what the frog march is, right? Like a perk march.
I love how he's making
right?
a demand
Perk
like he's has something hostage. Like, if you don't, he's taking the cottage hostage. You don't answer my demands, I'm gonna burn the cottage down.
That's right. You can't hold me. I'm the prince. Incredibly, Sarah has said she wants Adelaide College, the friends reveals. Sarah and Andy have lived together at Royal Lodge since 2008, despite being divorced, and seem like they're still a married couple. They add, it's incredible they are willing to go their own separate ways. Well, they're divorced, aren't they? But it indicates that they have been under an immense strain this year and need a break from one another. It's a fresh start for both. Frogmore College is too small for both. And Adelaide College is around the corner, so they will see each other whenever they want. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can't get them 14-year-olds anymore. You might as well go with your ex-wife, right? Both have space for their daughters, Eugene and Beatrice, and their families to visit. So that's kind of sweet. Yeah, I kind of can see them two living separately. It's like, yeah, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of going anywhere with you. There's your story, real quickie. Now we'll get on to the meat story.
Well, I can't. That wasn't really gonna remind me of a song. That was too fast. I guess I'll just do Come On Eileen, because that's the name of the person who wrote the article. That's the song that I got reminded of first.
Right on. Works
so
for me.
So come on, Wednesday. I guess it should be Come On Andy, reveal you're a pedophile, release Epstein files, and go to jail.
I mean...
that was my cover of the song.
There is rules. There is rules. Right on. There is rules for the segue with, but we don't know what they are. So, there we go. HPG.com has, speaking of pedophiles, HPG has a com, Trent Laws, we're going to talk about Donald Trump. Yeah, he's in the headlines. So speaking of pedophiles, Trump working his magic all right, says the sarcasm headline. This is from Trent Loos, Loos, and he's got himself a big old hat on, and he's got himself one of them mustaches, you know? What's his name has, except it's not gray? I think of Sam Elliott. He's got himself a Sam Elliott mustache, but it's not gray yet.
Yes, that guy.
Looks like,
always in the Westerns.
Yeah, he's got himself one of them big old hats that ain't been turned into a cowboy hat with the brim and all this pulled it up, but it's still flat where it'll actually prevent rain from getting all over your shoulders and going down your back and shit. You know, the way a hat should be worn. Anyway, that's what he looks like, old Trent, the author of this, and this is going to be him writing me, but his opinion probably going to jive with mine pretty close. President Donald Trump, the magician, said, "Hey, farmers and ranchers, look at this hand and not the other one. However, I hope that we all look in both hands because his America First plan is really just disappearing act. For those who have missed it, on October 16th, he announced his like magic plan to reduce the cost of beef to consumers. Of course, 3 days later, he confirmed that he will be seeking beef imports from where? We just talked about him. Argentina. Bribery, baby. Yeah, beef imports from Argentina in the name of helping consumers. Let's not mention that the current cattle prices, when adjusted for inflation, are not much different than 1990. But on the other hand, the Trump team has announced bold action by the U.S. Department of Agriculture to reduce the threat of China buying more farmland in the United States. Yeah, so his billionaire buddies can buy it. Let's look at the rhetoric from the USDA on this announcement. The USDA is the U.S. Department of Agriculture. More broadly, this bold action plan articulates key activities that will promote agriculture and economic prosperity through securing our nation's farmland, identifying gaps in the supply chain, or gapes, and other security vulnerabilities, defend the foundations of agriculture and food by enhancing research and security, evaluating all USDA programs, and ensure they put America first. And number 3, bullet point, strengthening domestic agriculture productivity through safeguarding plant and animal health, protecting critical infrastructure, and promoting American agriculture products, U.S. and abroad. Oh, bunch of big words. Oh, yay. But what are they doing in reality? They're just doing the opposite. It's the old shell game. We talk a good game and do the exact opposite and say we're doing something else. Yeah, because you're all stupid. You believe us because you voted for us. And you don't want to be wrong about voting for us, do you? You don't want your neighbors to think you were wrong, do you? Oh my God, that's the worst thing in the world, being wrong. USDA has launched a new online portal for farmers, ranchers, and others to report possible false or failed reporting in compliance with respect to the Agriculture Foreign Investment Disclosure Act. Further, the portal will receive and review claims for adversarial foreign influence on federal, state, and local policymakers with respect to purchase of U.S. farmland, if business dealings and other facets of U.S. agriculture supply chain. Submissions may be accepted anonymously, or contact information may be provided by appropriate follow-up by the USDA. That is the whole entire posting from the USDA. Oh yeah, we're going to rat out foreign people buying land. Let's see what's really happening. First, I'm aware that China purchased assets in close proximity to many U.S. military bases. In fact, I have been to 2 of them. Clearly, this is a problem. Beyond that, our national security, quite frankly, I am more concerned with what's happening to land control from D.C. than I am from Communist Party China. We continue to fight easements to control land for transmission lines and pipelines at an unprecedented rate. Once you give control of that land to a third party, you have just lost it forever. Nowhere does the USDA talk about stopping China from being able to purchase easements. Of course, this also involves a little bit of a magic show. The Trump team is still allowing, through December 31st, 2026, tax credits for wind and solar developments that take land out of food production. Ironically, the components to build these developments rely on China for manufacturing. My phone rings nonstop with people asking for help to prevent this nonsense from happening in their county. It's really hard to consider the Trump policies as America first when the land with abundant resources and infrastructure has, for 2 years in a row, nearly $50 billion in agricultural trade deficits. Those in the beef business can easily blame drought for the reduction in the U.S. cattle inventory that has led to increased beef prices in the store. I ask you to look at what has happened to the beef business in Argentina in the past 4 years. Back to Argentina we go. Drought there has led to a reduction of cattle inventory, causing an increase in Brazilian beef imports, which we'll probably be doing pretty soon too, to Argentina. Argentina's importing their own beef. And I'm so confused. Argentina has to import beef, and we're going to import beef from Argentina. Makes a lot of fucking sense. This world is so fucked up. Don't look now, but Brazil has just surpassed Australia as the #1 importer of beef to the U.S. So my question is, actually it should be exporter of beef. He's got that backwards. So my question is, we are going to be getting Brazilian beef in boxes labeled from Argentina? Think about that. We're not getting... Exactly, right? Brazil kills a cow, right? They process it in Argentina, send it to the United States. Is that what's going on here?
I guess that's what the EU... I mean, that's funny enough. That's what I was talking about with the EU. That's what they do.
When he said America first, he meant South America. Neither of those options allows for the America first banner. I just told you, man. Neither of those options for the South America first banner to wave any longer. Incorrect. South America has America right in its title, right there. You're wrong again. You got 2 things wrong right there. I'm sorry, dude. You're getting 2 things wrong in a row. That's not so cool. Consumers love good American beef. I love Argentine beef and Brazilian beef better than American beef. Sorry. It's grass raised. We got feedlot beef. Consumers love what's good American beef, which is a lie. And farm and ranch family deserve to get paid for high quality products they produce. If that was true, I would agree. Encouraging your urban neighbors to buy direct from producer or demand U.S. beef when they go to the store. People can pay $1,800 for a handheld tracking device. I don't know what that means. They can pay $25 for a good steak in the store so beef producers can build back their herds and keep the operation afloat. What the hell was that non sequitur about? This guy's he's confusing me. What's $1,800 for a handheld tracking device? What does it even mean? What does it even mean? Is that for a phone?
Where your
Is that what he
meat's
means?
going? So you know where your meat goes?
No, I think he's talking about.
Back?
I think he's talking about smartphones. I'm like, I don't know. My smartphone cost me $112. I don't know who's paying $1,800 for a stupid smartphone, but you're obviously not the same damn person that's complaining about $25 steaks. Anyway, he makes another incorrect statement. If people can pay $18 for a handheld tracking device, that's just nonsense. They can pay $25 for a good steak in the store so beef producers can build back their herds and keep their operation afloat. I'm not here, in all seriousness, I'm not here to keep farmers afloat. What's my benefit to keep them farmers afloat? I can't think of it. They produce feedlot beef. Feedlot beef. That's what they produce. Argentina, Brazil produce grass-fed beef. What's my incentive to these guys that are polluting the planet with cattle farts concentrated in one place in a feedlot instead of all over the prairie like they do in other countries? Why should we help them? So I'm really kind of confused why we should care about farmers and their little, price support, little, gravy train, more or less. Dude, raise your beef, stop depending on price supports, compete in a free market, and stop acting like America owes you a living. Anyway, this guy says, let the market take care of itself and Americans enjoy protein that comes from generational caretaking earth, which is not true about beef cattle farmers at all. Not that shipped in on a boat for far-flung operations in the world, which is actually beef that is raised more environmentally sound. So I guess this guy here gets about a C- to a D+ for his article. So great mustache aside, I agree with about half of what he said. All right, there you go. There's your story.
All right, we've got our interview, our article grade in, guys. Our first one of the week, the grade D.
Yeah,
you do not pass your English exam. The song that reminded me of is Cheeseburger in Paradise, but of course, sarcastically.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Buffett.
Sarcastically.
Jimmy Buffett.
Anybody
right?
who's living in the U.S., how ironic of it is that we're giving Argentina beef so that they can make it into beef, cows, so they can make it into beef and sell it back to us. But at the same time, probably
not only that,
evicting Argentinians from the country by tossing them into a mysterious jail where they'll never see the light of day again.
Oh, not only.
Yeah.
We're not just loaning them money so they can spend it. They're loaning them money so they can buy beef from Brazil and ship it to us instead of us just buying the beef from Brazil.
Cheeseburger in white supremacy paradise. There you go.
Oh yeah, don't forget Argentina. Sheltered
we will
more
buy your brown people beef, but we don't want you to be in our country. Please leave.
Argentina's been
don't please leave.
Nazis.
They're not saying it nicely at all.
45.
They just punch him in the face and then kick him out. There's your story.
Yeah, I have no patience.
Or there's your song.
Alrighty. There's my story. There's my song. Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel for our culture news.
The wheel of cheese.
Wheel spin. It is time for a hypothetical. I like how the wheels over you so they can only see me and I'm just dancing like the most stupidest dance.
I also wanted to mention once again this guy who says American beef is high quality, he's completely full of shit. All right, just wanted to point that out. Go ahead.
Okay, well, you should probably finish your story before the wheel so that when I cut this at the wheel, you're not still.
That wasn't my story. Doesn't matter. I was just adding that. What difference does it make? I just wanted to put that out.
Let's go to our culture news, which is about what was it about? Oh yes. So we've talked about this before. The British Museum. Everyone knows the memes, right? Oh, they steal people's stuff and don't give it back. And Greece has had a huge problem with the British Museum for years now because they will not return these Parthenon marbles back to Greece where they belong, where they can probably put them back in the Parthenon itself. I mean, they're trying so hard to rebuild the Parthenon after it exploded ages ago, so they might as well, hey, maybe that's what they're waiting for. Maybe the British Museum, because they're British, are like, we'll decide when you deserve to have your antiquities back. Anyways, they had a little show where they showed off these Greek marbles, and that Greece has taken it as a provocative indifference at covering Greek culture in the shade of Barbie by officials in Greece after it hosted a star-studded fundraising gala that included guests seated near these famous Parthenon marbles. This is on The Guardian by Helena Smith. Days after Mick Jagger, Naomi Campbell, Alex Chung, Misuya Prada, Manola Blahnik, Christian Scott Thomas, and dozens of other celebrities and billionaires paid £2,000 each to attend the museum's inaugural Pink Ball, Greek officials were still incandescent over an event described as offensive by the country's cultural minister. Lira Mendoni said the museum was guilty of provocative indifferences to the treasures that embodied the high point of classical Western art. Well, okay. There it is. I mean, let's not be Eurocentric, or Greco-centric, I should say, but I feel like we give Greece too much credit for being the high point of everything. Athens, perhaps, is a lot of things we base off of, but not the whole entire of Greece. Images of tables laden with trappings of a lavish meal, steps away from antiquities, also raise ethical questions, she rallied. The safety, integrity, and ethics of the monuments should be the main concern of the British Museum. Once again, it's exhibiting provocative indifference, she said. Yeah, just eat your food on top of this ancient marble from the Parthenon. Guests at the gala, which raised more than £2.5 million for the museum, were treated to drinks reception in the museum's Great Court before the evening's highlight, dinner with the view of the 5th century BCE carvings in the Duveen Gallery. A silent auction was also held throughout the evening. And look who was there, Rishi Sunak and his wife. But on Thursday, which was the 23rd of October, many in Athens were of the view that the gala's greatest achievement had been to bring the relations between the museum and the Greek government to a new low at a particularly sensitive time amid efforts to resolve the cultural row over the sculptures. For decades, Greece has been campaigning for the artworks to be reunified and with other pieces that once adored the Parthenon. As outrage intensified, even more officials sounded even more indignant. The Speaker of the Greek Parliament, Nikitas Kaklamanis, rebuked the British Museum for deciding to cover the Greek culture in the shade of Barbie while lambasting the provocative use of the sculptures as a tourist attraction. I mean, let's be honest here. You're going to also use it as a tourist attraction. Hey, everyone, come see the Parthenon. Come to our city to see the Parthenon. Look, we've got the famous marble back from the British Museum. They're going to do that. Let's not pretend once they get this marble back, they're not going to have a whole ad campaign about come see the returned after 2,000 years. At the time when the Parthenon sculptures born in Athens 2,500 years ago are patiently awaiting their return to the homeland, the British Museum lays out provocative, lavish tables in Duveen Gallery with our sculptures as a backdrop, he said, deploring the institution's cynical goal of raising money for its own benefit. Okay. I understand where the Greeks are coming from here, but that is the whole point of having rich people show up at your museum so you can afford to be a museum. That is why those events, unfortunately, as much as I don't agree with the lavish portrayal of and these fundraising events, all this bullshit, that is the point. The point is to raise money so that they continue to be a museum. Brought by Phidias, Hercules' master sculptor, the antiquities embellished the Parthenon's monumental frieze before their removal in highly contentious circumstances by Lord Elgin, Britain's ambassador to the Ottoman Empire. So this was even when Greece was in its own country. Right? It was under the Ottoman Empire. More than 200 years ago, bankrupted by his endeavors, Elgin then sold them to the British government in 1816.
I don't want Greece
to my sold them back to the Greek government. Nicolas
Yeah. Sold
Stampolidis.
it.
Sorry?
Go ahead.
Oh. General Director of the Acropolis Museum, which we did go to the Acropolis Museum when we were in Greece, whose upper gallery has been custom made to display the sculptures within view of the monument, said the tasteless episode provided incontrovertible proofs, once again, that the masterpieces needed to be reunited in the place where they were carved. The British Museum has declined to comment because they've yet again just put shade on Greece. This article was amended on today, the 27th of October, to describe Lord Elgin as a British ambassador to the Ottoman Empire rather than England's ambassador, as an earlier version said. Oh yeah, he wasn't English, he was actually Scottish, but he was still the British ambassador.
There you go. Right, yeah.
Very important, he's not English.
His geographic location mattered so much. Right?
It doesn't say, actually. You know, he was born in Scotland, 75, and died at 75. Okay, so he was Scottish.
Hypothetically, they should steal it.
But there's your story. Just, British Museum, give the damn marble back. Just give everything that you don't own back. Like, I get that some British guy sold you them, but that just because, I mean, it's laundering, right? It's illegal. He stole them and sold them to the British government. Right? That's what happened. Stop acting like it was a donation or some shit. You gave him money. You bought an illegal artwork. You know? An illegal sculpture.
Hypothetically, they should steal it. Right? Because
we need to get the Louvre guys. Hopefully they don't get caught and then one of them can be like,
I'll give you
walk out with this very heavy marble.
Well, it's probably a little bit bulkier than that. But then, you toured Edinburgh Castle, right?
Yes.
Back in, so it was the stone of Scone was there, right? The official, so you saw it. Well, that was stolen by the British from Scotland, right? They took it. And,
the famous stone they used to basically crown the leader of Scotland. Yeah.
Crown all the, right? And it's just a stone, and it's got some engraving and shit on it. But the frickin' four Scotsmen stole it from the Westminster Abbey back in 1950. It said, and brought it back to Scotland. 4 university students. But eventually, the stone was returned in 1996 to Edinburgh Castle. And although it was borrowed by King Charles II, for his coronation in 23, because he's also the King of Scotland. So
and then they gave it back, right? Even though it was originally stolen twice.
Now it is on display at a place I visited, the Perth Museum. So that's pretty cool. Did you visit the museum and library?
I didn't get to go there.
We visited Perth. Anyway, that coronation.
I didn't reason
usually
to go to Perth,
place.
Scotland. Just kidding. It was a nice city, but there was not much to do there.
The Stone of Scone is actually from very close to where our Stuart relatives are from, Loch Tay, right over River Tay, just north of Perth.
So what we're saying here is that
it's my stone. Give it back.
Greece, maybe some Greek students who are going to a school in London somewhere, go to the British Museum, pick up the marble, put it on the back of a truck or something, and then
get it on a boat.
Get on a boat and sail it to Greece. Yeah, there you go. Solution.
No, don't sail to Greece. Sail to neutral waters.
Oh,
or an island, right. Sail to Gibraltar and claim Gibraltar for Greece and say that you stole it from us. There you go.
Just keep going. Just take everything back.
Yeah. It's like that. Who said you could have this rock that nobody lives on? All right.
Let's roll our segue wheel for the final week of October. It's still October.
Oh, yeah. This day in history. And this day music first.
And I'll give you some sarcasm for your efforts.
Right on. First, we'll do birthdays. We'll do one birthday today, and that's Kelly Osbourne. You know Kelly Osbourne? Daughter of Ozzy Osbourne. And her Sharon Osbourne. Sharon, I can't think of Sharon's original maiden name, but her dad was a big music executive guy. In 1984, Kelly Osbourne, British television personality, singer, actress, and fashion designer Kelly Osbourne, daughter of Ozzy and Sherry Osbourne. She came to prominence while appearing on the reality show The Osbournes with her family. She's had 2002 UK number 3 single "Papa Don't Preach," which is a Madonna song. Anyway, we know who Kelly Osbourne is. 1957, Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly and the Crickets started a 3-week run at number 1 in the UK single charts with "That'll Be the Day." It was also a number 3 hit in the US. Went on to sell $1 million. The song was inspired by a trip to the movies by Holly, Jerry Allison, and Sonny Curtis. In June of '56, the John Wayne film The Searchers was playing when Wayne's frequently used world-weary catchphrase, "That'll be the day," inspired the young musicians. And if you know the song, it goes like this: "That'll be the day that I die." And if you know the song American Pie, the chorus says, "This'll be the day that I die." So that's where that comes from.
And of course, that song was about Buddy Holly dying, right? So.
Exactly. So a lot of people don't catch that. When Buddy Holly died quite young, 22. 1964, Sonny and Cher got married. Sonny was 31. Cher barely clinging to adulthood at 18. Sherilyn Sarkazian Lepere. For a time, they performed together as Caesar and Cleo before changing names or act to Sonny and Cher. Their union lasted 12 years. Cher went on to marry Greg Allman. That marriage lasted about a week. And Cher, still around. Sonny, unfortunately, passed away in a skiing accident. Skied into a tree.
One of my favorite quotes from Cher is, her mom asked her, what is she going to do without a husband? I'm my own husband, Mom. I'm my own husband. I don't need a goddamn husband.
Yep, Sonny and Cher. And she's about a foot taller than Sonny, too. That's another thing. 1969, Muddy Waters, our mic drop guy. I hope you got the mic drop. Blues musician Muddy Waters was seriously injured in a car crash in Champaign, Illinois. 3 of his companions in the vehicle were killed. So lucky for Muddy, he had his mojo working that day. So that's our... just for that one line, I just wanted to say it. That's all. 1973, Glass Night and the Pips started their 2-week run at number 1 U.S. single charts with Midnight Train to Georgia. It was the group's 18th top 40 hit, number 1 record in the 1974 Grammy for vocal performance. 1975, Bruce Springsteen, after releasing the single and album Born to Run, Bruce Springsteen had the rare honor of simultaneous covers of both Time and Newsweek magazines in the U.S. What the hell's a magazine? That's about it for this day in history. Not a whole lot of other shit. This day in Rocktober history. This day in world history, we're going to talk about 939, a long damn time ago. Athelstan, the first king to rule over all of England, died. So condolences to his family and friends. 1492.
That old English really gets you there.
1492, Christopher Columbus, or his cousin Christopher Columbus. Christopher Lumpus. That was his...
the human embodiment of lupus.
Okay. Anyway, Christopher Columbus sailed to Cuba and claimed the island for Spain. And Cuba said, "Oh, thank God, we needed a country to claim us." 1795.
And Italian.
And he's like, "Do you have any gold here?" And they're like, "No, we sold it to the British." Yeah, that's it. 1795, Pinckney's Treaty Agreement between the United States and Spain was signed, giving the United States navigation rights to the Mississippi. Spain just giving shit away, all kinds of crazy, getting stuff from the natives in Cuba. 300 years ago, later, giving shit away. Spain just can't make up their mind what they're doing. 1932, American poet and novelist Sylvia Plath, whose best-known works are preoccupied with alienation, death, and self-destruction, was born. Well, oh boy, those are some great subjects to just get you all depressed. Well, let's lead about alienation, death, and self-destruction. That'll get me through the day. Let me listen to some Alice in Chains. 1961, the first Saturn rocket was successfully launched, and years later, Saturn V was a launch vehicle used in Apollo moon landing flights. Yay, Saturn! We figured out to escape We figured out the escape velocity of gravity from Earth. Yay! 1968, physicist Lise Meitner, whose research, along with that of Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann, led to the discovery of nuclear fission, died in Cambridgeshire, England. Of course, until 1961, or I believe, no rocket had actually escaped Earth's orbit. So I think that's why that's important.
Woohoo! Good job!
The Russians and we put around space orbiting, they never left our orbit, so they were never in space. So we can just say they were in space, but hey, they were captured by Earth's gravity, so they weren't going anywhere. 1968, physicist Lise Meitner, whose research, along with that of Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann, led to the discovery of nuclear fission. But technically, the moon's in Earth's orbit too, right? So we have a strong gravitational pull. However, the moon doesn't do whatever it wants to. It has to stay where it is. So you need rocket power to get the hell away from Earth. Anyway, that was 1968. 1979, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, an island country lying within the Lesser Antilles in the Eastern Caribbean Sea, achieved its independence. Man, I'm going to live there. That's going to be as big as a postage stamp on the map, right? 2000, at a concert near Tel Aviv, the music German composer Richard Wagner, which many associate with the Nazi regime, was played for the first time in public in Israel. All right.
Yeah, because he wasn't a Nazi. A lot of people liked him. A lot of Nazis liked him. So he became a Nazi artist, even though he himself was never a Nazi.
Right. The Valkyries, one of his famous operas that the Nazis incorporated into their propaganda. 2004, the Boston Red Sox ended the Curse of the Bambino, an alleged hex that began in 1920 when the team's owner sent Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees in exchange for $125,000 in a personal loan by defeating the St. Louis Cardinals and win the World Series titles. Red Sox first Major League Baseball championship in 86 years. If you believe in curses, I suppose. Which is absolute horse shit. Why does my team never win the World Series? What's their curse? You know what? Here's how you win a game. You play better than the other team. It's not a curse. Really, that's how it works. You play better than the other team. There's no curse. That's really how it works, man. 2014, Taylor Swift released 1989, which she described as her first official pop album. It was a blockbuster hit and won the Grammy Award for Album of the Year. Same date in 23.
I know it's not technically rock.
It might have been. It might have been, but it had a duplicate, so I wasn't going to repeat a duplicate. On the same date in 2023, she released 1989, her version, recording of the original. So she took their songs and said, I've got the rights to all these songs, and I can record it the way I want to and keep all the money. And screw that record company. My version's better.
It wasn't even that, right? Somebody else bought the rights, so it wasn't even the original owners. They sold the rights to some other guy.
Yeah, the music business is full of this stuff where other people that have no creativity make all the money, and it's always been that way, and it's always sucked. And hats off to her for reversing the freaking process, at least for her. I'm not sure it works for anybody else. 2017, Catalonia's parliament voted to declare the region independent from Spain, resulting in the central government's dismissing that legislative body and calling for new elections, in which a majority of seats were claimed by the pro-independence movement. Okay, what became of that? I don't know. Catalonia. Let's check into it. Our feature event, 1978, Anwar Sadat and Menachem Begin awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. In 1978, Anwar Sadat of Egypt and Menachem Begin of Israel were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for negotiations that resulted in the Camp David Accords, a peace treaty between their countries. And that peace still holds to this day, so give them credit. They're still at peace. Our feature biography is Teddy Roosevelt, President of the United States, born October 27, 1858, New York City. He only lived to be 60. That's kind of a shame. You're that rich and you only get to be 60. Born January 6, 1919. He died, sorry. He was born in New York City. Died at the age of 60 in 1919 in Oyster Bay, New York, out in Long Island. Other birthdays today, Roy Lichtenstein, American painter, born 1923, Sylvia Plath. We did. It's John Cleese's birthday. Monty Python.
Oh, man.
He is, oh my goodness. John Cleese, 86 today. John Cleese, long live John Cleese. That's a kind of blinkered
Could have done one of his things for the mic drop.
I can do a John Cleese tirade if you want. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow, but what's a kind of blinkered Philistine? Pig ignorance will come to expect from you non-creative garbage.
Hello, I'm here for an argument. No, you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I am. I'm here for an argument. I'm pretty sure that was John Cleese in that one.
Yeah, he's one of them. Yeah, he's the guy giving the argument. He's not the customer. The customer is Michael Palin. All right, hey, John Gotti, another John, was born a year later. American organized crime boss. We always got to recognize them criminals. Our national days today, it's National Civics Day, National American Beer Day, and Navy Day. Yeah, the Navy was apparently born on this day. I'm not sure why it's U.S. Navy Day, but there you are. October 27th. There's your mispronunciation, your spins of the wheel, your truncated stories, everything. For October 27th, 2025 on Before Beer. Hopefully before beer, because you're drinking now, you got a problem.
Before some beer. Okay.
Before.
What was it? A hypothetical about something in this story? Yeah, imagine if I wish there was a way to become an artist without having to rely on a bunch of middlemen in order to get your music out there, right? Oh no, sarcasm. Yeah, that was my thing. Sarcasm. Yeah. Imagine if Taylor Swift could have just uploaded her music onto YouTube.
Right. Imagine if Taylor Swift wasn't a real person.
But YouTube didn't exist back then. So, next time. Or TikTok, right? That's the new trend now.
I'm a TikTok star.
Now everyone can be an artist without signing a record label because you got good old TikTok, which totally, here's your sarcasm, totally creates a long-living career. That doesn't make you inevitably have to sign with a record company in order to keep your career going.
I should start a music career and claim that I'm AI.
Why not? Go for it.
Why not? Who's going to prove me wrong? That guy's not real. He's not really AI. What are you talking about? I mispronounced half the words.
I have a speech impediment. No, that's AI. I mean, that happens all the time, right? That's AI. And then everyone's like, this is not AI. This is real. I saw a video of a walrus whistling. And people are like, walruses can whistle?
Yeah,
this is AI. And then they were like, here's 20 million videos from before AI existed, right? Posted in 2007 of a walrus whistling. No, they can whistle. It's real. But that's how fucked we are. We're so fucked. Real things is like, that's AI. That can't be real.
That's not real.
Walruses using their lips. Okay, let's cover our international observances. Today is World for Audiovisual Heritage Day. So that's audiovisual archives, you know, like the VCR. Your VHS tape of your family going on a holiday. That is very important. So telling stories about people's lives and their cultures from all over the world. Even if you just think, oh, it's just one family, it can really indicate how people used to live back then in the 20th century. 1900s. Thanks to audiovisual heritage from people's own recordings. They're all very important. Not just, you know, those big news story events, but the everyday life. We can really learn to understand humanity through this stuff. So continue digitizing your audiovisual heritage from VHS to digital, uploading on YouTube, and then it getting taken down because somebody has copyrighted music in the background. That's what happened to our family videos that tried uploading to YouTube. They all got blocked.
The Macarena was being played, right?
It was me dancing to Pinball Man by The Who or something, and it's like, you can't have that on the internet. The Who wanted some 2 cents from the 10 family members that might see this video.
As if The Who owns the rights to that anymore, right?
Yeah, I know. Anyways, it's World Audiovisual Heritage Day. Celebrate. Keep filming your life so that you can share it later. It's also still this Armament Week, which is all about getting rid of those nukes. You don't need them. They're useless. They only just cause strife and other people, I guess, to build nukes. And also
They just
global
cause a
media,
standoff.
information, and literacy reek. That's right. You're currently watching some news. Use that media literacy. Use that brain. I know you got one. And make your own opinions. And make sure to consume all media globally. So not just news from, your local Fox channel, but also, what does Africa think? What does Asia think? Maybe even Iceland. Maybe they have opinions. I don't know. There's your things, your days to celebrate and everything you said. This has been Allison here from the Netherlands. Roger from the East Coast of the US as we start a new week. Getting closer and closer to the end of the year. But don't worry, we still got you covered all the news. Tomorrow will be Good News Day. We're going to find all that positive, good news stories that make you have hope in humanity again. So make sure you're following on Twitch, subscribed on YouTube, and have those notification bells turned on so you know when we go live and post a video. Please, if anybody is watching this on YouTube, please let me know if you enjoy having all the stories cut up into small fragments instead of just having it in the 1 hour and a half live stream. If you like that, like this video, comment, let me know. And also, you can support us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Check that out as well. Here is our mic drop. Our muddy mic drop moment.
Muddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, take a trip
if you
back
got
to
your mojo working on
1966
Monday,
and meet the great
good for
Muddy
you,
Waters
man.
and his band.
I love the Japanese subtitles.
Right on, man.
Any
Maybe
Japanese
they'll help
viewers
us with
out
the
there who are
copyright.
definitely asleep because it's 2 a.m. in Japan or 3 a.m. in Japan.
Alright. Oh man, nice band. Wow.
Yeah. I like his haircut.
Mojo don't work now. I love the fact that he sat down. He wasn't even old at this point, you know?
This is not a thing that happens a lot. A lot of people want you to have like a crazy concert where you're jumping all over the place. And then, I went to their show, but all they did is sit in a chair and sing their music. I mean, that's what you paid for. I don't know what to tell you.
I wonder if this is post-accident, right? I don't know. It's black and white, though.
What accident did he get into?
Car accident killed 3 members in the car. He was the one that survived.
Oh, damn.
So he must have been injured.
I guess it didn't say when this was. It was kind of like a flash to the past, right? So.
No, it's probably before that. It's black and white. So.
And of course, Muddy Waters is what a lot of people in Jamaica will be experiencing soon.
I wish I could remember the name of that harp player. Listen to this harp player, man. Like, Jesus.
That's really good. I'm gonna do a harmonica cover.
This is the rock and roll, man. This is the original rock and roll. Before the Beatles, before the Stones, before Buddy Holly. Right,
and
kind
think
of around
somebody
the same
was
time.
recording this, because it was even harder to get visibility back then.
Muddy Waters, the Rolling Stones' first tour of America, they took Muddy Waters on tour with them to get him exposure.
I think we covered that, actually, a clip from that show where he was with them.
Howlin' Wolf, not just him, it took Howlin' Wolf out of the Chicago bluesmen. All the Chicago bluesmen were from the South. They were from
jam out, and he was just in the background going, yeah. That's all he was doing, just going, yeah.
First of all, they weren't on the stage at the same time.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what. Maybe it was a different artist. We played a mic drop before where it was Mick Jagger and somebody else.
Oh yeah, that was just them at some tribute or something probably.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when they first toured when they were nobody. The Beatles and the Stones came over at the same time.
Yeah, not saying British people weren't racist, but they definitely didn't have Jim Crow laws, so they're above the bar on just supporting other people with different skin tones. God forbid.
The poor blacks in America had nothing, and the poor children in Britain had nothing at the same time. Post-war World
Yeah, in
War
the
II.
60s, yeah.
So they could identify with having absolutely nothing, like nothing to even pick from in England. The shit just wasn't there. And so the blues just came natural.
I guess I'm eating a rock sandwich again today.
Oh yeah. Got that mojo working, and it just doesn't work on you.
Just don't work on you.
Yeah, take us out. The classic ending twang.
In
Dun,
a 10-year period
dun.
between 1950 and 1960.
Oh,
Yeah.
1950, there you go. We got a date.
Recordings of songs like that one
Maybe.
got
Oh, no,
my
I
mojo
don't know.
working. Turned out to be one of
There's
the
a guy
greatest
with a
collections of electric blues recordings ever
80s
made.
haircut with
In
Japanese
fact, Muddy Waters had a
subtitles.
huge impact on the history of blues music and rock
And he's
and
also in
roll.
black and white, so now I'm confused.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.